Just 2 months after a would-be assassin's bullet grazed Donald Trump's ear in Butler, Pennsylvania, there was yet another security scare as Secret Service opened fire on a man armed with an assault rifle trying to target the former president. The attacker had hidden himself in the shrubbery outside a golf course owned by Trump in West Palm Beach, Florida, lying in wait for more than 12 hours. He was in fact within 400 yards of Trump, who was playing around with his friend and Republican donor Steve Witkoff. The man arrested in connection with the latest assassination attempt is one Ryan Wesley Routh, who has a lengthy criminal record and, interestingly, a recent preoccupation with global politics, particularly Russia's war in Ukraine. He had traveled to Ukraine following the Russian invasion of the country. Routh, a 58-year-old North Carolina resident who had recently lived in Hawaii, has been charged with felony possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Routh, in fact, did not fire his weapon. He didn't get a chance, and it appears that he acted alone. Following the first attempt on Trump's life on July 13th, many supporters and even neutral political observers predicted that the incident would give Trump a commanding lead over President Biden. But much has changed since then. Most notably, Biden is dropping out of the race and Kamala Harris taking his place. For Trump, the race has gone downhill since Kamala's entrance, as she quickly gained momentum and money and energized the once desolate Democratic activists. In that sense, the second attempt on Trump's life and his escape might have come as a lucky break for him. The two assassination attempts against Trump have heightened concerns about political violence in the United States once again. Once a land of violent, high-profile political assassinations, you can go back to Kennedy, Abraham Lincoln, and the US has been relatively safe from such attacks, the last prominent one being the 1981 attempt on President Ronald Reagan's life. But now, the threat appears real, and both Trump and Harris now address outdoor crowds from behind bulletproof screens. Trump's response to the latest attempt against his life was swift and defiant, resembling what he did after the July attack when he pumped his fist and chanted, "Fight, fight, fight." Blaming President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and the Democrats for their rhetoric and lies, Trump framed the attack as part of a broader campaign against him. His strategy is to portray himself as a victim of Democratic hostility, rallying his base by reinforcing the idea that he is being persecuted. And that strategy might still work. Assassination attempts on Trump have only deepened his appeal among his core supporters. They have been somewhat downcast after the steady rise of Kamala Harris, a feeling which was aggravated following Trump's inconsistent messaging, incoherent poll strategy, and especially his disastrous debate performance on September 10th. The Trump team hopes that the latest incident could break that pattern and reinforce his image as a fighter. Trump continues to assert that he took a bullet for democracy, and for many of his loyal followers, this narrative strengthens their commitment to him. The Democrats, meanwhile, will take heart from the fact that from a general election point of view, the assassination attempt is unlikely to influence independents or undecided voters, who are the key to winning the swing states and therefore the White House. The suspect, Ryan Wesley Routh's unclear political motives complicate matters for the Republicans, making it difficult to assign blame. Although Routh was once a registered Democrat, he had expressed support for Trump in 2016, and he backed a Nikki Haley-Vivek Ramaswamy ticket for this election. Ironically, the incident might even drive away some independent and moderate voters, as it adds to the broader sense of instability that seemed to surround Trump. Moderates and independent voters in key swing states are increasingly wary of the chaos linked to Trump's candidacy. While his base may rally around his portrayal as a victim and a martyr, it seems unlikely that undecided voters will react favorably in the long term. The senior Democratic leadership and the Harris campaign also seem to be going ahead with such an assumption. Although Democrats expressed relief for Trump's safety, they have not paused or stopped their campaigns as they did following the first assassination attempt against Trump in July. This reflects the high stakes for both parties as the election day approaches quickly, with Harris headed to swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.